If you find yourself in an unexpected situation, you're going to be very glad you had this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Amanda, and in this video, I'm gonna go over 6 tips for beginner hikers. Now, if you're new to my channel, my entire channel is devoted to hiking, backpacking, and camping resources. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss a video. I upload new ones every single week. Without further ado, we're just gonna dive right into this video with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to tell someone where you're going and when you're expected to be back. So a lot of times people think, oh, I'm just going for a short day hike. I don't really need to do this. But this is so easy. It will take you 10 seconds. You can leave a note for your roommate. You can text your friend or a family member. It's just really good practice, and it will give you some peace of mind when you're out on the trails that someone's got your back at home. Tip number 2 is to make sure that everyone in your hiking group knows the route. So if you're hiking with other people, make sure you and all your hiking buddies know where you're intending to go, how long the distance is, and that they're just prepared for the hike. If you're hiking with experienced hikers, be an active participant in planning out that day so that you are aware, and if for some reason you got separated, you know where you are and where you're trying to go, and you're going to be good. So just make sure everyone knows the plan. Tip number 3 is a pretty obvious one, and that is to check the weather. However, know that the weather can change very quickly in the mountains and in the desert. And so you just kind of want to know what that weather forecast is and then prepare with some extra layers in case that weather changes. Tip number 4 is be aware of local wildlife in the area that you're hiking. So if you're hiking in bear country, you probably want to carry some bear spray. In the desert, which is where I am right now, there are rattlesnakes and other things to consider. So just make sure that you're prepared by knowing what animals inhabit this land. If you are going to be hiking in the desert, I actually have a separate video on tips for hiking in the desert, which I will link to below because that'll also probably be helpful. Tip number 5 is to make sure you carry the 10 essential systems. I have another video that really dives deep into what the 10 essential systems for hiking are and some possible gear options you can bring from each. But in short, the systems include things like a headlamp, a knife, a way to start a fire, extra clothing, extra food, a way to get more water if you run out, things like that. So it's really about being prepared. And so if you find yourself in an unexpected situation, you're going to be so glad that you have this stuff. And for me, it really just provides a nice peace of mind when you go out for a hike, you know that you have all the essential things. And lastly, tip number 6 is to look up. So I think a lot of beginner hikers tend to have their head down and they're just going along. I just want to remind you to make sure you stop, be mindful, take a look up, take a deep breath, just notice your senses, the details on the trees, things like that, and just really have fun and experience nature. So don't forget to do that. All right, so there we go. Some quick tips for beginner hikers. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I really love this community. My entire channel is all about hiking and backpacking and camping resources so that you can get outside more often. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. I read them all. I love hearing from you. Just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.